Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Australian Under 15 and Youth Championships. This is session 6, which is the women's 59 kilo bodyweight category. I'm your host, Linda Eads, currently in Sydney, New South Wales. This weekend, we were meant to be in Hobart having our first face-to-face national competition in over a year, but COVID put a stop to that. So rather than letting the pandemic get the better of us, we decided to make the most of the current situation and utilise technology to its fullest to ensure these young lifters get an opportunity to display their skill and strength on the platform. These athletes have maintained their training programs to peak for this event, and now they'll compete for the title of Australian champion. I'll introduce them to you now. So our first lifter from Queensland is Kaya Nahini Marsh. Second lifter from Western Australia, Olivia Socrates. From Queensland, Alia Brightwell. From Western Australia, Kiana Bennett Tamati. Also from Western Australia, Emily Cook. And from Tasmania, Nina Timsar. Our technical officials for this session, also joining us from various locations around Australia, are referee James Mildren, referee Jessica Edge, referee Rebecca Levine. Our timekeeper and marshal is Ian Moyer. Jury president is Pedro Sanchez. Jury member Alex Crute, Amber Nixon. We will be communicating with the coaches via the online portal change system, which will allow them to enter weight changes so the competition can run as if we were all lifting together in one location. We've also laid out ground rules for the athletes, coaches and officials, and we've done our best to simulate the elements of an in-person competition. So our timekeeper and marshal will be running the scoring system and entering weight changes from the coaches as they come in. The order of lifting will proceed as if the athletes were sharing the platform. As always, each athlete will have 3 snatch attempts and 3 clean and jerk attempts, with a 10-minute break in between those portions of the competition. And the best lift for each athlete will be combined together to give them their total. So with no further ado, our clock has timed out. We will begin the competition and call our first lifter, and that is Tasmanian lifter Nina Timsar, and the requested weight is 29 kilos.
Down.
And that's a good first attempt for Nina on 29 kilos. We'll see the automatic increment applied and the scoreboard going to 30 kilos. That was a fairly comfortable opener, so I'm sure, yep, there we go. Nina's made a change. So 31 kilos is the call currently now. And we're working within this online format of adding an extra minute onto a 2-minute clock to allow for the change in weight to take place. So that bar is loaded. And plenty of time on the clock still for Nina before she takes her second attempt. So this is our final session this evening. We've had 6 sessions today, and there'll be another 6 sessions on tomorrow. We kick off the day at 9 a.m. Originally, this competition spread over 2.5 days face-to-face, but now taking place over 2 days as a virtual event. And here's Nina for her second attempt.
Down.
And another good lift for Nina on 31 with her second attempt. So again, we'll see the automatic increment of 1 kilo added to the bar. And Nina's taking more weight. So 33 kilos is now the requested weight for the third attempt of Tasmanian lifter Nina Timsar. Yep, the little yellows. So our clock counting down while our loaders are on the platform is an unusual feature. Normally in a face-to-face competition, the clock would stop while the loaders are on the platform. And it is normally the change of call and the weight changes and knowing that those loaders have to get on and off the platform is normally a strategy that coaches use to help give their lifters more time, and not really a factor for the online competition when lifters are in different locations. And Nina is one of 3 lifters lifting in the under 15 championships in this session, along with Olivia and Kaya.
Down.
And a good lift there for Nina on 33 kilos by majority. So we now move to our next lifter. So 44 kilos on the bar, and it's for Queensland lifter Kaya Nahini Marsh.
Down.
And that's a good lift for Kaya for her opening attempt on 44 kilos. We'll now see the lifting go to our next lifter, staying on 44 kilos, but Queensland lifter Alia Brightwell. So Alia has gone up and Kaya has also gone up. So the call will be on Alia, and we need 46 kilos on the bar. So Kaya taking more weight. So the clock is counting for Alia. And I'm just waiting for the referee's decisions for Alia. So that was a good lift for Alia on her opening attempt. So we'll see the automatic increment, 47 kilos. Olivia, please prepare. You'll be the lifter to follow. So Alia's taking more weight. So order of lifting changes to Olivia Socrates from Western Australia, 48 kilos. Unfortunately, no lift there for Olivia. Just a bit of overpull there and dropping that safely behind. And the weight stays at 48 kilos, and it'll be for the second attempt of Kaya from Queensland. Alia, you'll be the lifter to follow. Unfortunately, no lift there for Kaya, just a little bit of loss of balance in the bottom there, and it's pretty hard to recover from that. So we stay with 48 kilos, and it will be for Alia Brightwell from Queensland. So clock is counting for Alia Brightwell. Second attempt, 48 kilos on the bar.
Down.
And a good lift there for Alia on 48 kilos. Did take that one a little bit for a walk, but managed to maintain that overhead. We now go to the second attempt of Western Australian lifter Olivia Sokratos. 1 minute on the clock.
Down.
And a much better lift there from Olivia. And a good lift. We now go back to Alia Brightwell from Queensland. 49 kilos. Alia taking more. We now go to 49 kilos back to Olivia. Olivia also taking more. So we'll now go to the first attempt of Western Australian lifter Kiana Bennett Tamati. So 50 kilos on the bar. 1 minute clock counting for Kiana. Kaya, you will be the lifter to follow. Kiana taking more. So that changes the order of lifting and brings back to the platform for her third attempt, Kaya Nahini Marsh from Queensland. So is on Kaya.
Down.
And she is pretty happy about that, and she should be. It was a good lift. We stay with 50 kilos and we go to our other Queensland lifter, Alia Brightwell, for her third attempt. Emily Cook, please prepare. You'll be the lifter to follow. Unfortunately, not happening tonight for Alia, but she was successful with her second attempt. We now move up in weight, 51 kilos, and it's the first attempt of Western Australian lifter Emily Cook. Olivia, you will be the lifter to follow.
Down.
And a good lift by majority there for Emily on her opener. So 51 is the weight that stays on the bar, and it is for the third attempt of Western Australian lifter Olivia Sokratos. And that looked ever so close, but just not quite. So no lift there for Olivia, but she was successful with her second attempt. We now move up in weight to 53 kilos on the bar, and with our next Western Australian lifter, which is Kiana Bennett-Tamati. Emily, you will be the lifter to follow.
Down.
And a good opening attempt there for Kiana on 53 with 3 white lights. Bar stays at 53 kilos, and it will be the second attempt of West Australian lifter Emily Cook.
Down.
And a good lift there for Emily on 53, showing some great speed through that lift. The automatic increment will come into play here, and we'll see 54 on the bar for Emily. Okay, Emily's taking more. We need 55 kilos on the bar, but the lift stays with Emily, so we're counting down from a 3-minute clock. So Emily taking consecutive lifts, that clock won't stop for her because she's got an extra minute there added for loading time for the online format that we are currently running. So 3 lifts left in the first part of this last session tonight. We'll have a 10-minute break before we start the clean and jerk. And the normal rules apply for the coaches' time limits on their changes required. So 30 seconds of their 2-minute clock. Here comes Emily on 55.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Emily. Just unlocking those elbows in the bottom just a smidge. So our last lifter now also from Western Australia on her second attempt, 56 kilos. And it's Kiana Bennett-Tamati.
Down.
And a good lift for Kiana, and with that she goes into the lead in the snatch section of the competition. So we need 57 kilos on the bar, so the automatic increment for Kiana. I'm sure there'll be some extra weight added onto the bar. And Kiana's competing as a youth, so she is in the lead in the youth section of the competition. And change coming through for Kiana. So she's going to 58 kilos. And Kaya from Queensland currently in the lead for the under 15s. So this will be our final lift for the snatch section of the competition here with the women's 59 kilo bodyweight category at the under 15 and youth championships. We kick off again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So we hope you've been enjoying the live broadcast, and we hope to see everybody back on again tomorrow as well. So final attempt for Western Australian lifter Kiana Bennett-Tamati, and 58 kilos loaded on the bar.
Down.
And a good lift there for Kiana, and really working hard to save that one in the bottom. She did the right thing. She stayed there till she got her balance back. We'll put 10 minutes on the clock, and we will see you back very shortly for the clean and jerk portion of the competition.
Jeez. Can you guys still hear?
Welcome back to the 2021 Australian Under 15 and Youth Championships. We're underway with session 6, which is the women's 59 bodyweight category. And we're ready to start the clean and jerk section of the competition. We have 6 lifters lifting in the session, and 3 of which are lifting as under 15 lifters and 5 of which are lifting as under 17 lifters. And so with that, our clock for the warm-up period has timed out. And our first lifter from Tasmania is Nina Timsar, and 36 kilos on the bar.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift for the opening attempt there for Nina, just pressing out at the top of the jerk there. So we will see Nina come back. She'll have 3 minutes on the clock and 36 kilos on the bar. So our loaders have taken that weight up, but it is still 36 kilos. No change has come through as of yet. And there we go. So 36 kilos on that bar. And the call still with the Tasmanian lifter, Nina Timsar, for her second attempt. So if you've been watching us at home today and you're keen to get involved with weightlifting regardless of your age, then please reach out to your state weightlifting association. And here's Nina for her second attempt.
Down.
And a much better lift there for Nina on 36 kilos and a good lift. So we now see the automatic increment applied and 37 kilos loaded to that bar. I'm sure Nina's coach will add some more weight onto that. And the coaches today are using the online change portal. And more weight has been added on there for Nina. And so 39 kilos on the bar is the current call, and the clock counting for the third attempt of Nina. So if you think that weightlifting looks like the sport for you, then get in contact with your state sporting organisation or your nearest club. You can locate those via the websites of each of the state sporting associations. And reach out to find out how you would go about getting started.
Down.
And a good lift there for Nina. I think that was certainly the best of the three. So finishing off with 39 kilos. We now move up in weight to 55 kilos on the bar, and we go to our Queensland lifter, Alia Brightwell, for her first attempt. So Alia taking a little bit more weight. So that will change the order, and it will go to our Queensland lifter, Kaya Nahini Marsh. And it is also her opening attempt, so 1 minute on the clock.
Down.
And a good lift there for Kaya on her opener at 56. The bar now goes to 57 for Kaya still. So 3 minutes on the clock, and I'm sure we'll see a change come through. That looked like a fairly comfortable opener. Olivia, please prepare. You could be the lifter to follow. So your change coming through there for Kaya. She's moving up. So we now go to our Western Australian lifter, Olivia Sokratos, and 58 kilos is the required weight on the bar.
Down.
And a good lift for Olivia on her opener there at 58. The weight stays at 58, and it is Queensland lifter Alia Brightwell for her opening attempt. 1 minute on the clock for Alia.
Down.
And a good lift for Alia on her opener as well. We now move back across to our other Queensland lifter. 59 kilos is the requested weight on the bar, and it is for Kaya Nahini. No, so Kaya's taking more weight, changes the order, brings it back to Alia, and the automatic increment is 59 kilos. Kiana Bennett Tamati, please prepare. You'll be the lifter to follow. So Alia taking more weight. So that will change the order, and it will see our Western Australian lifter, Kiana Bennett Tamati, come to the platform for her opening attempt. So we're just waiting for that to reflect in the scoreboard. So Alia going up to 61. Kiana also going up. And so that now changes the order to Kaya Nahini Marsh from Queensland, 61 kilos for her second attempt. Olivia, you'll be the lifter to follow.
Down.
And that's a good lift for Kaya on 61 kilos. We'll just stop the competition there for a second.
Jury members, your press read, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yes. I saw
Yes,
the press
correct.
out. If you all saw the same, did you all see a press out?
I did. It was, as you looked at it, was the left arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay, but all right.
Her right arm, yes.
Yeah, I saw both arms actually, but
Yeah.
that's okay. So we will reverse that.
Okay, so the jury have overruled that decision. And so for Kaya Nahini Marsh, her second attempt is ruled as a no lift. So we now move to the Western Australian lifter, 61 kilos still the weight, and it is Olivia Sokratos. Second attempt.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Olivia, just pressing out at the top of the jerk there. So 61 kilos stays on the bar, and it is for Queensland lifter Alia Brightwell. And it is her second attempt.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Alia on 61 kilos. So the bar stays at 61. It seems to be a bit of an unlucky number at the moment. So the bar stays at 61 kilos, and it is the third attempt of Kaya Nahini Marsh. So let's hope she can crack this run.
Down.
And she's broken that spell. So 3 white lights and a good lift for Kaya on her third attempt, 61 kilos. Australia come back also for her third attempt and 61 kilos. No, Olivia's taking more. So we'll go to Alia. for her third attempt, and Alia is from Queensland. So third attempt for Alia Brightwell. So the call is for the third attempt of Alia Brightwell. So Alia taking more weight. So we'll just get that reflected in the scoreboard. Okay, the call didn't come through in time, so 61 kilos.
Hang on. Go back to 30 seconds then, because it took too long to tell it was too late. Yep. Let him
All right, we
set the
stop the
weight.
clock.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so Alia
Start the
Brightwell.
Down.
And a good lift there, and it's lovely to see a big smile there too for Alia. So successful with 61 kilos. So we now load the bar to 62 kilos, and it is for Olivia from Western Australia for her third attempt. And there's been a change in weight. So it is now the first attempt for Kiana Bennett-Tamati. So 64 kilos on the bar from Western Australia. First attempt. Emily Cook, you'll be the lifter to follow.
Down.
And a good lift for Kiana on her opener there at 64 kilos. So the bar stays with Western Australia. It stays with 64 kilos, but we change lifter and see Emily Cook for her first attempt. Olivia, you will be the lifter to follow.
Down.
And that's a good lift by majority for Emily on her opener there with 64 kilos. So the bar stays on 64 kilos, but it goes to Western Australian lifter Olivia. So all of the girls there in WA lifting together there in this section of the competition. So 1 minute on the clock, and it is the call is on Olivia Sokratos from West Australia. And unfortunately, just not able to rack that clean there for Olivia. So we'll now see the call go to the West Australian lifter Kiana Bennett-Tamati. So 67 kilos now to be loaded onto that bar. And Kiana and Emily both competing in the youth section of this competition.
Down.
Okay, and Kiana just taking that for a little bit of a walk, and that was a no lift on 67 kilos for her second attempt. So we'll see West Australian lifter Emily Cook with 67 kilos as well for her second attempt. 1 minute on the clock for Emily.
Down.
And a very solid second attempt there for Emily on 67 kilos. And we now leave the bar at 67 kilos for Kiana Bennett-Tamati's third attempt. So Kiana currently in the lead in the youth section of the competition. 1 minute on the clock.
Down.
And a good lift for Kiana there, and a real fight to get up in that clean. And it was great to see her do the jerk well. So with that, she moves further into the lead. It now brings out our last lifter, Emily Cook from Western Australia. Currently the call on the bar for Emily is gone to 73 kilos. So she is going up in weight, and it is a 6 kilo group. And this is to try and take out the gold medal place ahead of Kiana, who is currently sitting on 125, Emily on 120. So Emily needs this lift to achieve a total of 126. So 73 on the bar, 1 minute on the clock for Emily from Western Australia. Third attempt. And with a chance to take the gold medal with this lift. And a good effort to get up out of that clean, but just not enough left there to finish off with the jerk. So she'll have to be happy with the silver medal there. So I hope you have enjoyed watching the women's 59 kilo bodyweight category here today at the under 15 and under 17 or the youth championships. We'll go through the placings for the women in this category, and we'll start with the under 15 grouping. So we had 3 lifters competing as under 15s, and in the bronze medal position with a total of 72 from Tasmania is Nina Timsar. In the silver medal position with a total of 106 from Western Australia, Olivia Sokratos. And in the gold medal position with a total of 111 from Queensland is Kaya Nahini Marsh. Well done, girls. Great to hear the cheer squad are there. Our 6 lifters were also competing in the youth section of the competition, so that's under 17 years of age. And in the bronze medal position, with a total of 111 from Queensland, is Kaya Nahini Marsh. You guys get the Best Cheer Squad award so far. And then in the silver medal position, with a total of 120 kilos and a really terrific effort to try and take the gold, but having to be happy with silver today, is Emily Cook from Western Australia. And then finally, in the gold medal position, our other Western Australian lifter with a total of 125 kilos, Kiana Bennett-Tamati. So we hope you've enjoyed watching these wonderful young lifters competing throughout today, not just in this evening session, but all day today. And you'll enjoy also tomorrow as well. And again, we kick off at 9 a.m. So thank you for being tuned in to weightlifting, and we look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.